Not only are facilities and technical infrastructure poor, African people still have limitations in preparing food. Seafood and lobster are often prepared in the most primitive and traditional ways such as grilling or steaming, making lobster dishes unattractive in the eyes of Africans. They consider it as a popular dish. The above reasons show that lobster in Africa is not a specialty dish, nor is it as expensive as in other regions of the world. Due to differences in regions and living conditions, they have contributed to the cultural features of the people of Africa. Being a region with rich natural resources but lacking infrastructure and science and technology, Africa has become the least developed region in the world. Therefore, they cannot take advantage of available resources to get rich. However, this is also the only area in the world where the marine ecosystem is not affected by the fishing industry. Africa, successfully introduced to various regions worldwide, from Mexico and California to Pakistan and Turkey. Symbolic of beauty and richness, this iconic plant has captivated gardeners and enthusiasts for centuries. The date palm begins fruiting at around 5 years old. More than 1,000 dates can appear on a single bunch, weighing 18 pounds or more. This fruit-bearing tree has an average yield of 800 to 1,300 pounds of dates per tree annually, and can continue producing for up to 60 years. What makes date palms unique is their gender differentiation. They are either male or female plants, requiring cross-pollination to bear fruit. Remember also that it's only female plants that will produce edible fruits. And while male trees tend to have slightly stouter trunks, the only definitive way to tell them apart is to see the trees when they are flowering. Male flowers appear whiter and the stems are firmer than female flowers, which have a yellow tinge to them. One male tree to about 10 female trees is a reasonable ratio if fruiting is the objective, and birds, wind and other pollinators will likely help with the pollination if intrepid tree climbing isn't your thing. Because they have to be hand-pollinated, the farmers embark on a horticultural envoy and sling a cloth bag over their shoulder with pollen from the male trees. At the top of the palm, the male flowers are hand-tied among the female flowers. Flowering and pollination take place between February and April, with the majority of the harvest occurring in August and September. Hand pollination is expensive and time-consuming. Takes a lot of effort and has no risk, because for the average date palm tree, the farmer has to climb to a height of 21 to 23 meters and stay there for a while some farms have introduced machinery into the pollination process to reduce labor days and increase efficiency and minimize labor risks for workers. Pollen from the male flowers is collected and a sprayer blows it onto the female flowers. Date palm cultivation is labor-intensive. Date clusters must be covered with fine mesh bags to keep out insects, burns, and rain. Harvesting of fruit normally occurs from mid-September until early December, depending on weather and temperature. Harvesting is done manually to ensure that the utmost quality is obtained. Depending on the size of the trees, it is very common that a reach lift is used in some developed countries. Machete is used to harvest the large clusters of dates from the trees. After being harvested, the large date clusters are then sorted through and either packed in the field because the customer wants the dates still on the vine or individualized and washed. Sorting through the large clusters of dates and removing those that are of bad quality with clippers. Dusting them off using paintbrushes to improve their appearance. Clipping sections off of the large clusters to fit into the boxes they are packing, weighing the boxes to make sure they meet the customer specification. closing the boxes and packing them on a nearby truck. These are then transported to a nearby cooler. The yellow berry dates in particular have a very short shelf life, so cold storage is very important, and the sooner they are cooled, the longer the shelf life they will have. Now let's move to Jordan, when dates ripen on the tree and are hand-picked through 5 cycles, ensuring selection of optimal moisture content for an extended shelf life and a delightful consumer experience. Protruding from their mouths, and their inner teeth also develop quite well. Their heads are strong, and their hooves are short and flat, enabling them to dig and root. They are highly resourceful, and can remain active for extended periods, even capable of digging up a garden. There have been documented cases of wild pigs infiltrating military areas, digging and destroying objects like fighter aircraft. The ferocity of these wild pigs is truly terrifying. In 1988, a massive wild pig wandered onto a runway in Florida, and had a close encounter with a landing F-16 fighter jet. The interaction resulted in a severe collision, causing the F-16, worth millions of dollars, to crash into the nearby forest, completely destroyed by the ferocity of the wild pig. What's even more concerning is that wild pigs carry at least 30 disease-causing agents, and 37 types of parasites, posing a direct and potentially deadly threat to human life. In controlling wild pigs, one of the effective methods is using the integrated wild pig control technique. This is a complex and comprehensive process that combines multiple methods to achieve high efficiency in controlling the wild pig population. One of the main methods is using wild pig traps. In this approach, traps are set in areas where wild pigs often pass through, or frequently. These traps are carefully designed and placed to attract wild pigs and keep them trapped once they enter. The use of support devices, such as infrared cameras and surveillance cameras, is also crucial in this process. They help monitor and analyze the behavior of wild pigs, thereby understanding their movement patterns and habits. As a result, researchers and control operators can make a decision on